Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Anna Istinel Kwaplia. My student number is 205-23085. And now I want to presentation by the title The Benefits of a Good Night's Sleep. It's 4 a.m. and there's a piano recital after the major test in 8 hours. You feel unprepared for either even after spending days researching and playing. What then can you do? It's okay to have another cup of coffee and spend the next few hours studying and practicing, but you may be better off turning in your book, turning off your music, and going to bed. Even though sleep takes up about a third of our life, surprisingly few of us actually take the time to properly care for it. A significant misunderstanding frequently leads to this carelessness. Sleep isn't waste time or only a means of unwinding after completing our most crucial task. Rather, it's necessary function that your body uses to balance and control its essential function, including development, immunological response, breathing, and circulation. That is excellent, but after this task, you can worry about all those things, right? Alright, not so quickly. A fifth of your body's blood flow is directed toward your brain while you sleep, indicating that sleep is also essential for brain function. Furthermore, as you sleep, your brain undergoes a highly active organization path that is essential for maintaining our memories. Our memory doesn't appear particularly remarkable at first. The forgetting curve named for the 19th century psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus showed that humans often lose 40% of new information within the first 20 minutes of exposure. However, memory consolidation, the process of transferring knowledge from our ephemeral short-term memory to our longer-lasting long-term memory, can stop this loss. The hippocampus, a significant brain region, aids in the consolidation. Brenda Milner's study with a patient named HM in the 1950s revealed its function in the establishment of long-term memory. HM suffered from impaired short-term memory formation after his hippocampus removal. Nonetheless, he recovered the ability to learn psychical tasks by practice. HM suffered impairment to his long-term memory formation due to the removal of his hippocampus material. This case demonstrates, among other things, that the hippocampus was more directly involved in the consolidation of procedural memory, the finger motion you have to learn for the recital, than in long-term declarative memory, the facts and idea you need to retain for that test. Our personal understanding of how this consolidation process operates is based on research conducted in the 1990s by Eric Kandel and on discoveries from Milner's. Short-term memory is first transcribed from sensory data and then momentarily stored in neurons. It then processed to the hippocampus, where it improves and fortifies in the neurons in that cortical region. New synaptic buds emerge as a result of the neuroplastic process, which also strengthens the brain network that houses long-term memory by enabling new connections between neurons. What makes us recall certain things while forgetting others then? The effectiveness and degree of memory retention can be affected in a few different ways. The hippocampus association with emotion, for instance, make memories generated during periods of intense emotion, such as stress, more likely to be retained. However, you guess it, getting a good night's sleep is one of the main variables promoting memory consolidation. There are four stages of sleep, with rapid eye movement and slow wave sleep being the deepest. The brainstem, hippocampus, thalamus, and cortex act as relay stations for memory formation and EEG devices monitoring individuals at various stages have demonstrated electrical impulse traveling across these regions. Furthermore, research has demonstrated that the various sleep stages aid in the consolidation of various memory kinds. Declarative memory is stored temporarily in the anterior region of the hippocampus during non-REM slow wave sleep. It is then regularly awakened via ongoing dialogue between the hippocampus and cortex, which facilitates its eventual transfer to long-term storage in the cortex. Conversely, REM sleep is linked to the consolidation of procedural memory due to its resemblance to brain activity during awake hours. Therefore, it would be best to go to bed 3 hours after learning your formulas and 1 hour after playing your scales, according to the studies. Hopeful, we can now see that getting too little sleep is bad for our long-term health and actually reduces our ability to remember what we learned and practiced the night before. This proves that the saying sleep on it is wise. We could even argue that getting enough sleep will leave our brain restructured internally and ready to take on new problems each morning given all the new connection and internal restructuring that takes place while we sleep. Okay everyone, thank you very much and let's I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.